Hello Canal Walk Pickleball fans. Today's video is going to be on position. We have two rules on position that are very important. First one being the player who is on the same side as the ball, represented by the yellow dot, has the responsibility of covering shots that are down the sideline. The player who is opposite the side of the ball has a responsibility of covering shots which are down the middle. So this gives you the right of way in play. The second rule, which is very important, is the player on the same side of the ball wants to be either even with the player on the opposite side of the ball or standing ahead of the player on the opposite side of the ball. So this is a fine position because in this position you have two players that are covering this area and this player was covering all of this area. What you want to avoid is a position like this, because in this position the player on the opposite side of the court is ahead of this player, and a shot down here takes this player out of play and will be a winner for this team. Too much area to cover. So you want to avoid the position where this player is ahead of this one. Okay, let's get back to the most important shot in pickleball, return of serve. This is the correct position for the receiving team on return of serve. This receiver wants to be a little bit to the right of center when this team is serving. And the reason is very simple. The serve comes to this player. The target 90% of the time is right here. And the reason that's the target, it gives you a wide area. It's the middle of the court. It's the back half of the court. And also, if both of these players are right-handed, it's going to be to this player's backhand. So if this is a target 90% of the time, this player, by being positioned here, doesn't have to take a step to defend. So what happens in this situation is the return is here. This player moves up, and then they have the court covered. Notice also that this player, who's opposite the same side, always wants to be a little bit to the sideline. There's a little bit of an angle between these players, and that's so they can cover the sideline, and this player has the middle. Okay. If the serve comes to the middle, this player now from this position will shift over a little bit. Again, a little bit of an angle, a little bit to the left side, covering the angle. This player comes up and covers the middle. And the third situation is if it's on the sideline, this player now moves over a little more. This player comes over and covers the middle when they move up. And now this player has the middle, this player has the sideline. Those are the three positions. Now let's say generally when the return of serve is made, if this player can't get up, when the ball bounces, you want to freeze. When the ball bounces, you want to freeze and be ready to hit. If they can't make it all the way up to the line, this position is okay because you still have two people who can cover this area. However, let's look at the other situation. The ball is hit here. In this situation, if this person doesn't make it up to the line, they hit behind this player and this is all wide open. That we want to avoid. So when the ball is hit to the same side as the court as the receiver must, and I repeat, must get up to the line. If you think that you won't be able to make it, if the serve is too deep and you can't make it up to the line, hit it to the opposite side of the court. So in this situation, if you hit it here, this person covers that area. If you hit it to the middle, they're going to cover here. This one's going to move over. If you hit it here, then this person covers the sideline. This one covers the middle. But in these situations, all three of these situations, this player must get up to the line. One other thing to note. When returning serve, the player right here must stand inches, no more than 6 inches from the kitchen line. Because if they're back here, this gives an angle right down this area. Okay? So that's an angle where the returners, the serving team could hit that for a winner. If the person is up at the line, it cuts down the angle. They can cut off this shot and stop that one from coming, which is the high percentage shot. So it's critical also to stand up at the kitchen line. And that's basically it for positioning. So once again, to review, the player opposite the ball covers the middle. The player on the same side of the ball covers the sideline, and avoid a position where the player on the same side of the ball is behind the player opposite the ball. And that's today's lesson on positioning.